Hello, folks. I'm Detroit Miracle. Yes, and indeed. Right now, I am here to discuss Bruce Lee. There's been debates going on for decades over Bruce Lee's authentic martial art fighting immense skill sets. Yeah, so when you watch Bruce Lee films, when you watch his instructional videos, and even when you watch his philosophical perspectives on things, like you would say, wow, he looks authentic to me in terms of him being the real deal. I know there have been some who made the claim that Bruce Lee wasn't really a real fighter, but instead he was an actual martial arts instructor and an actor and something else. But how could you be an instructor if you don't know how to fight? So people are saying that was Bruce Lee a great enough fighter to actually fight in competitions such as tournaments and matches and stuff? Well, if he was on the level of being a master where he trained others, then the others that he trained did go into professional fighting and win, and they could authenticate Bruce Lee's skill sets, because if he wasn't the real deal, then they wouldn't have turned out so great. So yeah, then there's many perspectives on that. They're saying, well, yeah, Bruce Lee was an amazing martial art trainer, actor, filmmaker, philosopher, but he wasn't going through the rigorous demands of a fighter in terms of having to train and fight this guy on this night and that guy on another night and so on and so on. I disagree. There's been numerous accounts, true accounts of Bruce Lee having so many street fights that you would run out of fingers and toes if you tried to count all of those fights that he had. So people gave true accountings of Bruce Lee winning street fights and even winning fights when he was challenged on the sets of films he was making. Because people would come up to him and say, let me try you, Bruce. Let me see if you're the real deal. And they said Bruce would whoop those people up. He would use his incredible power and speed at the same time. Then they would know that this guy is the real deal. He's a real fighter. So, like, if anybody says that Bruce Lee wasn't a real fighter, then obviously they didn't research Bruce Lee's life thoroughly. They didn't research into all of his principal teachings on the martial arts. They didn't research into his Jeet Kune Do martial arts style that he invented and engineered and innovated. Now, if anybody reads that book and says that Bruce Lee wasn't a real fighter, then, I would say that the martial arts aren't really completely made up for the purposes of people learning and then going out and fighting. It is said that the Asian monks would learn how to fight so that they wouldn't have to fight. Like, if you learn how to fight real good and people know you can fight, that might get you out of some fights. So the whole thing is to learn the arts, not necessarily to be at confliction and fight, but to have a wide variety of skill sets so that you can avoid a fight, but if you have all the necessary training and conditioning, you can more than be ready for that fight and any other fights. Indeed. Well, folks, let me know how you feel about this one concerning that age-old debate about Bruce Lee. Okay.